All right, we are in lesson 3. Our objective for today says I will be able to simplify simplify exponents using the product property of exponents. Using the product property of exponents. So before we do that, we want to just do a quick review of what an exponent is. An exponent just tells you how many times you multiply this base number by itself. So that means how many times do I multiply 7 by itself? 3. 7 times 7 times 7. This says to simplify the expression, so let's simplify it all the way down. And 7 times 7 is 49 times 7, which is 343. Okay? So all this is showing is repeated multiplication. Same thing here. I've got 0 and 3/10 to the 4th power. My base is 0 and 3/10. My exponent or my power is 4. That means I multiply 0 and 3/10 by itself 4 times. 0 and 3/10 times 0 and 3/10 times 0 and 3/10 times, guess what? 0 and 3/10. Here we go. 0 and 3/10 times. Uh-oh, it's blurry. 0 and 3/10 times 0 and 3/10 gives me 0 and 9/100. Okay? I can do the same thing here. Well, actually, let's just bring it down. Times 0 and 3/10 times 0 and 3/10. Okay? If I know 0 and 3/10 times 0 and 3/10 gives me 0 and 9/100, I can do the same thing right there. 0 and 9/10 times 0 and 9/10. Wait, I said 9/10, didn't I? That's wrong. 9/100. 0 and 9/100 times 0 and 9/100. Okay? I'll multiply that by itself, and it gives me this. Let's talk about what that number is. That's 0 and, this is tenths, this is hundredths, this is thousandths, this is, 10 thousandths. So that is 0 and 81 10,000ths. So 0 and 3/10 to the 4th power gives me 0 and 81 10,000ths. Here I've got 10 to the 3rd. So that's just 10 times 10 times 10. Quick, easy way to do that, if you've got 10 to the 3rd, it's just 1 with 3 zeros. Or you can multiply it out. That's 100 times 10. Either way, that gives you 1,000. Now here, what I've got is 5 to the 2nd times 5 to the 3rd. Well, let's expand that out. 5 to the 2nd is 5 times 5, multiplied by 5 to the 3rd is 5 times 5 times 5. So this is 5 times 5 gives me 25 times 5 times 5 times 5 gives me 125. Oh, no, that's not right. Hold on. Let me check that out. Oh, this is what I'm wanting to do. I want to show you this. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. So what that is 5 to the 5th power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're multiplying 5 by itself 5 times. So what I want you to notice is, what's the relationship between 2, 3, and 5? If we get 2 and 3 and put those together, that gives us 5. So that's where this product property that we're about to look at comes from. When you multiply 5 by itself 5 times, that's the same thing that we got when we expanded this out. So 5 to the 5th power is 3,125. So this problem was made to show you this is where the product property that we're about to look at comes from. The product property says that if m and n are real numbers and x is not 0, then if you've got the same base here, the same base, so x the same base, and you've got two different exponents, you can add the exponents when you are doing multiplication. So two numbers that are being multiplied that have the same base, all you have to do is add your exponent. So an easy way to remember that is this little rhyme right here. Keep that base, don't touch, add that power, that's not asking too much. So keep the base, don't touch, add the power, that's not asking too much. Keep the base, add the power, or add the exponent. So when you are multiplying two numbers that have the same base, all you've got to do is keep the base and add the exponent. So let's do that on the back. Okay? All three of these, what we see is that they all three have the same base. I'm multiplying three numbers that have the same base. So I keep the base, don't touch. I add the powers. I say 5 plus 7 plus 2, which gives me x to the 5 plus 7 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. So keep that base, don't touch. Add the power, that's not asking too much, okay? Same thing here. I've got 3 m's, 3 of these that have the same base, and then 2 n's. Okay, so let's keep the base. Let's keep m. Let's add the powers. 3 plus 2 plus 4. Alright, same thing with n. Let's keep my base as n. Let's add the powers. 6 plus 7. This only works when you are multiplying. You're multiplying these numbers that have the same base. Keep the base, add the power. M to the 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. So m to the 9th. And n to the 6 plus 7, which is 13. Now, we cannot go any further because m and n do not have the same base. Okay, if they had the same base, we could add 9 and 13, but since they don't, I box in my answer. So what you will see is that this property came from what we saw right here. Okay, if you expand out this multiplication, what you find is that if two numbers are being multiplied and they have the same base, keep the base, don't touch, add the power. That's not asking too much. So again, keep the base, add the power. That is all for lesson 3.